Thursday Reflection, June 28, 2018. Inner change requires outward actions. Zacchaeus stood there and said to the Lord, "Look, half of my possessions, Lord, I will give to the poor. And if I have defrauded anyone of anything, I will pay back 4 times as much." Then Jesus said to him, "Today salvation has come to this house." Luke 19, verse 8 and 9. I'm changed, yet I still do the things as before. I'm changed, but I cannot forgive others. I am changed, however, I cannot share with those in need. I'm changed, but I'm still actively sinning. An encounter with Jesus Christ results in an inner change, but that inner change is demonstrated by outward actions. Whilst God looks at the heart, man looks at the outward appearance. But in reality, the heart determines the outward appearance. Therefore, if we are changed by our encounter with Jesus, it must be reflected outwardly, and this is what we saw with Zacchaeus. Zacchaeus was a thieving tax collector that was despised by the Jews because of his profession. A Jewish tax collector was seen as a traitor to the Jewish people, for the Jews opposed paying tax that helped to feed the sinful practices of the Roman Empire. Furthermore, tax collectors not only collected money for the Roman Empire, but they also collected money for themselves. Now, Jesus first met this thieving tax collector while he was in a tree. Because of Zacchaeus' short nature, he needed the vantage point of a tree to see Jesus. Jesus invited himself to Zacchaeus' home, and I believe a conversation took place. Details of the entire conversation is not given, but what we do know is that it led to an inner change in Zacchaeus. Let us listen to what Zacchaeus says he's willing to do after an encounter with Jesus. He will give half of his possession to the poor, and for those he defrauded, he will pay back 4 times the amount. As I examined Zacchaeus' pronouncements, I thought, wow, half of what he owns and pay back 4 times to whomever he might have defrauded? I thought that was a lot to give away. But as I continued to analyze the text, I understood. Once you have an encounter with Jesus, all that matters is doing right by God. And to do right by God means outwardly showing that there has been a change inside. Key to inner change and outward action is a realization of how sinful we are. When we truly grasp how sinful we are, it gives us a clearer understanding of the need for inner change. Our encounter with Jesus will open our eyes to the fact that Jesus is holy, righteous, loving, forgiving, and caring. And that awareness leads to a desire for change. But it is not the change that is limited to spoken words. Instead, it is a change that leads to a changed behavior. So what is required of us? Be ye holy, for I am holy. 1 Peter 1:16b. Our inner change, or inward change, through Jesus must be depicted by outward change. Our conversations must be different, as in 1 Peter 1 verse 15. How we treat others must be different. It must be filled with love, as in John 13 verse 34. And we must abstain from sin, Romans 6 verse 11. Show that there has been inward change through your outward actions. Until next week, God's willing, show that you have been changed.